Good morning. It's Thursday, February 6th. Welcome to the morning show. I'm Bolu Obi. Let's get to the weather. Today, expect rain or freezing rain, becoming all rain after 8 a.m., then gradually ending. High near 43. East wind 5 to 8 miles per hour, becoming southwest in the afternoon. Chance of precipitation is 90%. Little or no ice accumulation expected. Tonight, there is a slight chance of rain after 1 a.m., patchy fog before 3 a.m. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with a low around 35. Calm wind becoming west around 6 miles per hour after midnight. Chance of precipitation is 20%. And Friday will be mostly sunny with a high near 44. West wind 6 to 13 miles per hour with gusts as high as 24 miles per hour. And here are some events coming up in Cecil County in the next few days. Black Wall Street was a nickname for the Greenwood District in Tulsa, Oklahoma, a thriving Black community in the early 20th century. The Greenwood District was destroyed in the Tulsa Race Massacre in 1921, a white supremacist terrorist attack. Tonight at 6:30 p.m. in the meeting room of the Elkton Library, local historian Cecil Wilford will discuss this often overlooked historical event, the rise and fall of Black Wall Street. And Friday, from 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m., join the Elkton Alliance in downtown Elkton for their annual soup contest. Local businesses make homemade soup for the public to taste and vote for their favorite. Walk up and down Main Street, Elkton, enjoy the soups, and vote for your favorite. And for the news, in his 2025 State of the State address yesterday, Governor Wes Moore emphasized Maryland's resilience in the face of challenges and outlined strategies to strengthen the state's economy and infrastructure. He highlighted the need to reduce Maryland's dependence on federal employment, especially in light of federal downsizing initiatives, and proposed diversifying the economy by investing in sectors such as life sciences, information technology, aerospace, and defense. To address this state's $3 billion budget deficit, Governor Moore proposed increasing income tax rates for high earners and implementing budget cuts. Throughout his address, Governor Moore called for unity and collaboration across party lines to confront the state's challenges with courage and determination. And for our feature today, on the morning show, we welcome Vicky Tillman. Vicky is a Cecil County resident, a mom, a career coach, and counselor. Recently, Vicky took on the timely mission to educate the public on the U.S. Constitution in an extensive series of YouTube videos. Good morning, Vicky. Welcome to the morning show.
Good morning, Boli. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. So, like no other time in recent memory, the role of the Constitution in American life and as our government's organizing document is a subject in the news and on people's minds. For starters, can you explain why, in the present, the Constitution is important to American citizens?
You know, that first, let me tell you how I got started because it leads into that. Is I am a homeschool mom, so my kids have all graduated now, but I raised 5 kids through graduation. So in that time, I taught civics with my kids and groups of homeschoolers 5 times. And so it dawned on me as the politics have gotten really noisy these days, and I have groups of friends that are very oppositional to each other now, that there is one thing we all agree on, and that's we have a foundational document that our whole government and culture is based on, and that's the U.S. Constitution. And it dawned on me that I had not read it since my youngest was in high school. And most of us don't know anything beyond the Bill of Rights and the preamble. And so I thought, you know what? It's a unifying doctrine. It's our foundational document that guides our laws and our way of life. So I said, let's as grown-ups learn the Constitution again. And so I started a no charge 18-week course just going over the Constitution.
Yeah. And can you explain the concept of checks and balances?
That's a really important part of our Constitution. The words aren't there, it's just written into the format of how it works. So we have three branches of government. We have our Congress that does legislation, and the executive branch that guides the international issues, the defense, and we have our judiciary that interprets laws and constitution. And those three all have their lanes to drive in, but they all interact with each other if something gets off balance. So if Congress passed a really goofy law, then the executive branch can veto it, or a Congress can say, or the Supreme Court could say that's not constitutional. So it checks that. Or if the executive, the president, does something goofy, the Supreme Court can say, or the Congress can pass a law to override that. So those things are kind of slow, but they are baked into our constitutional rights. And we also have a fourth check, and that is in the First Amendment. We have the freedom of speech. So all Americans have a check on the government if it goes wrong by using our voices in the multiple ways we can use our voices.
Nice. And when officials, let's say the president, are sworn into office, they promise to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution. How should Americans understand this promise?
They should understand, in my interpretation of the Constitution says that the president, the executive, is to support, defend, and protect the US Constitution. It says it in words, he should do what the words say. It's really easy. It's just right there. That's why we have a foundational document. Like, it gives the rules. It's the playbook. He has to follow those rules, or the checks and balances need to kick in.
Yeah, and like the checks and balances, another term we frequently hear now is constitutional crisis. What kinds of situations amount to a constitutional crisis?
I was talking earlier about this, like, y'all are setting me up for a hot topic here. So, when the Congress or the president or the Supreme Court, and all of them, in my opinion, have edged the Constitution recently. And so in those times, there are specific things that an executive can say, I'm doing an executive order. And that executive order says, like we could talk about the birthright, that is in Amendment 14. That to pass it, to nullify birthright citizenship would come directly in confrontation with the amendments in our Constitution. Therefore, it can't happen. And what you're seeing is already the court system have been checking that. So the courts have kicked in and have been checking. And the citizens, using their First Rights amendments, have been using their voices and checking. So you see this very noisy, kind of chaotic situation. And I imagine we will probably see that for a while because executive orders are fun to write and they get good news. So we depend on our Constitution to deal with a crisis where, one branch of government bumps up against the Constitution and tries to see, is anybody going to do anything about this?
Yeah. And what should people do to get a better understanding of the Constitution?
There are so many good resources. So, if you want easy cheesy, you can go to my YouTube channel. So it's Vicky Tillman on YouTube, and the 18 lessons, one a week, I'm putting on there, so you can watch that, where I've digested a lot of information in an easy to follow for adults version. So it's not for high schoolers per se. That doesn't mean it's all intellectual, just as that's my target audience. But there's other wonderful resources like the U.S. Constitution Center, great courses, your public library. You just go to the library and go to the reference librarian and say, I want a book on the U.S. Constitution, and they just walk you right over there to the section. Like, we are riddled with resources, whether they're hard copy or YouTube or websites. It's if you want just one though, the U.S. Constitution Center is has little short explainer videos, and that will take you through the basics understanding with the Constitution.
And just to remind our viewers, how can they find your video specifically?
Yeah, so on YouTube, Vicky Tillman, and if you go to Facebook, I have a Facebook group going on right now for these 18 weeks, and so we're only in week 2, and so it's called Learn About the Constitution for Grown-ups. So it's free. It's just a group where we can, watch the videos and discuss the lessons.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Vicky, for being here and sharing insight on the Constitution for us.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. It's fun.
Yeah. And to you all, thank you for watching Cecil TV. If you think programs like this are valuable, please consider becoming a donor to Cecil Public Media. Please like us on Facebook and subscribe to the Cecil TV YouTube channel. Have a great day.
Thank you so much. That was fun.